Okay, we are live. We usually start 1 minute early because it always takes a few seconds for this thing to go completely live. Tonight, I want to share my testimony, share my story, my journey of the pain and suffering that I have gone through. There may be people out there that have suffered a broken heart. If you've gone through a broken heart, you've been cheated on, lied to, the story I'm going to share with you tonight is my personal story. So sit back. I'm not going to try to rush anything. I need time to tell the story. There's a lot of ground to cover, and I promise you, this is going to have a happy ending. So if you suffered a broken heart, you need to hear my story because I went through it too. And I did a lot of dumb things. And I have a PhD in DUMB. So the things I've gone through, I hope will inspire you and give you hope. So here we go. My story begins, we're going to start in 1995. I'm 28 years old. And I had this job at this particular restaurant. And we'll call this girl Michelle. That's not her real name. Out of respect, I'm not going to use her real name on the air. We'll just call her Michelle. And I met her there. And I thought, man, she's hot, she's cute, right? And I really wanted to go out on a date with her. Well, I meet her and she tells me, well, she's going through a divorce with her second husband, right? Should have been a red flag. Well, I didn't listen. And I did what I wanted to do. We went out anyway. And the odd thing is, she was willing to cheat on her husband to be with me. In the end, she cheated on me too. But I didn't listen to my gut instincts. I didn't listen at all. I did what I wanted to do. So we went out, we dated, and not long after that, we were living together, and things just went downhill after that. This is not easy for me to share this story because I did a lot of stupid crap. And I'm telling you, if you've gone through a broken heart, I have gone through it too. And I've done some really stupid things. After she moved in, things really went downhill between us. And then she later on she broke up with me, and I found out from my sister that she was actually cheating on me with someone else, and that really ripped my heart out. I felt like my heart was just being ripped to shreds, and the thought of her being with someone else drove me insane, and I could not handle it. And I did a lot of stupid things back then. This is 25 years ago. And so, dumb things I've done because I couldn't handle a broken heart. This is 1996. We were only together maybe 6 months, but that was enough. And it just shredded me to pieces. And I did some dumb things. I stalked the girl. I took 14 bottles of pills because I wanted to end my life. True story. I'm not going to deny it. I made a couple other suicide attempts after that because I was having a pity party. I was feeling sorry for myself, and I just didn't want to face reality. And one night, I went out, got myself drunk, and I thought I could drink my problems away. No, you can't drink your problems away because I tried it. And I got real sick, and I have no idea how I got home that particular evening. Don't remember much of anything. It's all cloudy. But I'm just trying to share my story. I want to share it as thoroughly as I can. I don't want to rush in anything or leave out any details. So, and this is not easy for me. So if you think this is easy, I've been trying to rehearse this for a while, what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it. I really didn't want to script it. I just want to come out and just tell the story. This is my story and my journey, and if you've gone through a broken heart, I've been through it too. And this story is going to get worse before it gets better. So here we are. It's 1996. We were living together. We break up. I did a lot of dumb, stupid things in the next year or so. A couple of suicide attempts. Overdosed on drugs. Thought I could drink myself and, hit the bottle. That didn't work. Nothing worked. I just couldn't heal that broken heart. And in 1997, I found out she was pregnant. And boy, did things go downhill after that. Because now there's a baby involved. And I figured I was probably in a heap of trouble. Because child support came after me. I got served with child support papers. They were going to garnish my wages. Contacted my attorney, and his best advice was to go down there to child support enforcement and challenge it. Turn yourself into the authorities. Challenge that you have a legal right in the state of Missouri. If you get served with child support papers, if you're being hit up for child support, you have a legal right to challenge it. It's your right and your responsibility to go down there to child support enforcement and challenge it. If you're the father, man up and pay. If you're not the father, you're off the hook. But it's your right and your responsibility to do that. So if you don't know your rights, contact an attorney, because he'll tell you you have a legal right to challenge child support through a DNA, get a paternity test. It is your right to challenge it. If it turns out you're not the father, they're going to let you go. And I did that. And it turned out I wasn't the father. They let me go. 1997, I went to Central Assembly of God, and I gave my life to God. I got saved, right? Now, everybody tells you, you become a Christian, you get saved, you repent for your sins, and everything's supposed to get better. It did not. Things got a whole lot worse after that. No, I didn't do any more dumb, stupid things. I got past the drinking stage, got past, suicide attempts, and I was starting to grow up because I went to the altar, gave my heart to God, repented for my sins, and then there's a baby involved. And it turns out I'm not the father. So I got off the hook on that one. But that really didn't end the story at all. Because for the next year, I lost everything. My relationship with my family disappeared. My parents and I, we weren't speaking to each other, and I didn't have any friends. I lost my job. I lost it all. I lost everything. I say life is supposed to get better after you get saved, right? You repent for your sins. Your life is supposed to get better. It didn't get better for me. It just continued to spiral down, and it stayed that way for a good solid year. And then out of the blue, because another night I asked God, I said, I'd like to have a car. I didn't want any car. I wanted this Jeep. But the reason I'm telling you this is this is going to sound crazy, but that's what I prayed. And anyway, here it is. It's now 1998. I'm trying to keep this in chronological order. So for 2 years between 1996 and 1998, I lived my life in hell. My life was a living hell. Even after I got saved, I felt that God had thrown me into a fiery furnace, thrown me into a den of lions. I mean, just the lion's den, like Daniel. I think what God wanted to do, and it's all making sense to me now. He took this chunk of coal, and he turned it into a diamond. He wanted to shape me and mold me. And because if a parent really loves a child, they're going to chastise them. So for that year after I got saved, I was chastised. I lost it all. I lost everything. I didn't have any friends, family, didn't have a job, didn't even have a car. I had nothing. Nothing. I was a total loser. I was hitting rock bottom. And then in 1998, things started to turn around, and there's how it started. It's almost a miracle, like God turned on a light switch. 1998, I met this other girl. Her name was Carlene. I was at McDonald's. I was there just to have a quarter pounder, right? So, I was there having lunch, and I struck up a friendship with this girl. And she was probably 19, 20 at the time. I don't know. But at the time, I want you to hear me out. I had no car, no job, no friends, no family. Right? Total loser. For some reason, I met this girl and I asked her out. I said, hey, would you like to go to the fair with me? She said yes. Didn't even have a car. Her mother had to take us. Okay, I was a total loser. Loser at the bottom of the totem pole, as bad as you can get. For some reason, this girl took me in. I don't know what she saw in me, but I did not stay a loser. This is where things turn around, and God really started to work. I don't know why He just set me there in living hell for a year, and then click, turn on a light switch. Right after I met Carlene, a few days later, the job I was fired from hired me back. See, I was fired for stealing, and they hired me back, put me in charge of the money. Irony here, right? So I couldn't understand that. They knocked on my door, literally. Came knocking on my front door, and they talked to me, said, we'd like to hire you back, we apologize, blah, blah, blah. It's, it was a year ago they fired me, and they said they wanted me back. It's like, okay. So I got my job back, right? Now I'm working again. That's not all. Later on, a couple of days later, like I said, I wasn't even talking to my parents. My family and I weren't speaking to each other. Oh God, this is hard. So hard. Oh gosh. Anyway, I had this strange notion to pick up the phone and call my dad. I don't know why, but I had to call him. We haven't spoken to each other in over a year because my relationship with my family fell apart. And so my dad talked to me and he says, your mom's in the hospital. We don't know if she's gonna make it, and she's got diabetes really, really, really bad. So I rushed to go see my mom because we haven't spoken to each other, and I wanted to tell her that I loved her. Anyway, so the job that I lost, I got back. The family that I lost, I got back. This all happened within a matter of days. So my relationship with my family was restored that day, because I went to see my mom, told her I loved her. And my parents and my family and I, brothers and sisters, we were talking again. And Mom didn't pass away till 2010. So she lived another 12 years. But at that time, it was really bad. We really didn't think she was going to make it. And God totally restored me. So within a week, I had my job and I had my family again. Then, remember I just told you a little while back, I prayed and asked God for a specific vehicle. Well, within a few days later, my brother and I were at this car lot, right? And tucked in behind these other cars was this little Jeep. It used to be a postal Jeep. And it was pink with pink polka dots and white hubcaps. It was a Barbie mobile all the way. And they wanted 18 for, they wanted 25 and I offered 18 because that's what I had in cash. So God answered my prayer. I got the car that I asked for. I asked for a specific car from Almighty God because I got on my knees and I prayed for it and I didn't deserve it. Here's another thing that's ironic about that. When I prayed and asked God for a very specific vehicle, now I'm not going to tell you this in church at all, but I'm about to tell you it's going to contradict everything you've been taught in Sunday school. Because when I asked for it, I was not going to church. I wasn't giving to the church or any other charity. I did not pray. I did not read my Bible. I wasn't doing all these things they tell you you're supposed to do to get God to answer your prayers. But I got on my knees and I asked God for a specific vehicle. And I got that specific vehicle, debt-free. And when God's not going to give you a car and He hands you a car payment and say, good luck. That's not how God operates. He doesn't put you in debt. So, why God answered that prayer? I don't know. Why God restored me back, gave me back my family, my friends, my job. What Carlene saw in me, I'll never know. Because shortly after we met, everything changed. And when I got that car, my brother and I had to get it home. This is kind of funny. Because it was a Barbie mobile. It had white hubcaps. It was pink, with pink polka dots. Getting that thing home without being laughed at was totally embarrassing. I wish my brother and I had before and after shots of this thing, but we got it home. The first thing that we did was took away those white hubcaps. Away they went. We're going to paint this car. I painted it maroon. Replaced the white hubcaps with chrome wheels, put a sound system in it, and got rid of anything feminine about it. I did. I changed it over and I fixed it up and I made it a boy toy, and Carlene saw that. She was like impressed. I went from being a loser to being somebody. I had a family, I had friends, I had a job, I had a car, all this thing within 2 weeks after I met Carlene. At the time when I first met her, I was a total loser at the bottom of the totem pole, as about the bottom as you can get. But I did not stay there. God had other plans, and He, what I could say is, it was supernatural intervention at that time. Carlene and I stayed together 5 years off and on. That relationship ended because I chose career over her. I thought my job was more important, and it was more important to make money. I didn't listen, and she moved on. But when I first met her, it was necessary. She came along just when I needed her to. And we're still good friends to this day. She lives in Chillicothe today. I know where she's at. We're going to fast forward now because that story has ended. It was 2002. We're going to go to 2002. Carlene and I kind of still together then. I got on my knees and talked to God again. This time, I I asked God for something to do. I said, God, I want something to do. I want to do something with my life. I just asked God for something to do. I needed something to do. I wanted to make a difference. Well, a few days later, God answered that prayer. I was watching the 700 Club, and they had this man who had these plaques of the Ten Commandments, right? He was putting them up in restaurants and grocery stores and stuff like that. So that kind of inspired me. When I saw that, I knew right away what I wanted to do. But how to do it, I wasn't sure. And that's where these come from. You can see the Ten Commandments in the center, right? This took 6 months to design. And as I was designing them, because I had all these graphics programs like CorelDRAW, Adobe Photoshop, so I thought, I can't afford $70 plaques like this guy. I had to find a more cost-efficient way of doing it. So I would design a template and do some graphics. It took 6 months to put it all together. It all, over time, came into being. And it's just a miracle of God. It's like I asked God for something to do, and God didn't take very long to answer that prayer. Oh, you need something to do you? Well, I'll find you something to do. And boy, he did. And now I understand why God answered the other prayer about giving me a vehicle, because I needed that vehicle to transport this stuff back and forth, to do charity work. So I had to have a vehicle, period. So God knew that by giving me a vehicle, something I didn't deserve, he's going to give me something to do later. He's going to call that favor in. He said, Jeremiah, you owe me a favor. I'm giving you something, but you know what? You're going to need this. I have something I need you to do. And you're going to need this to get it done. So that's my theory about why God answered that particular prayer. And then he answered prayer again because he gave me something to do. He gave my life meaning. He gave it purpose. To date, over 200,000 copies of my artwork have been distributed across America and around the world. And I shipped thousands of them to Ground Zero. I was working at a Chinese place called Bamboo Inn, and I met this guy who was connected with a missionary in New York City. So I got this friend named Kathy, and so I made contact with Kathy Gasner, and we were emailing back and forth. I wish I could get those old emails. I don't know how to retrieve them because they were on Juno, and there's somebody out there that knows how to retrieve 30-year-old emails. I'd like to be able to do that. But so I shipped a few up to Kathy, and then we shipped more. Kathy was working with a missionary named Rick Camacho, and then the name of their organization was missionnewyorkcity.org. And they were helping the families of the victims at the time. So I shipped thousands of those posters up there, thousands of them. And they were to be distributed to the firehouses, to the families of the victims. And to my knowledge, that's what they did. That's what they claimed they did, and I've got testimonials to prove it. But I wasn't actually there. And then I was working with a woman named Annette after that. And that's how it all started. As far as the inspiration behind this, it started out, as far as the posters, it started out as I was just going to do the Ten Commandments, and then it just expanded from there. Every time I got an idea, I would write it down. Over 6 months on a CorelDRAW and Adobe program, I was able to make the template and mass produce them. And 200,000 copies later, who would have guessed that it would have been that successful, that God made such an impression on me. And that's how I got started on these. And we're still distributing them today. I'm building a brand new website. I going to work on my last page tonight, and hopefully I'll get it done. So, okay, talked about my ministry, my love life. Now we're going to fast forward to 2007 when I met Nicole. Now here's, like I said, the story has a happy ending. I promise it does. And, you know, I met Nicole at first through, I was working this Chinese place called Bamboo Inn. Keep those comments coming in. I'm doing my best to tell my story here. Anyway, I met Nicole at the Bamboo Inn, and she was a customer. At first, I thought she was too young because I was getting ready to turn 40, and I thought, no, she's way too young. And when she first gave me her phone number, I was stupid enough, I threw it away when I got it home. True. I had no intentions of calling her back. I thought she was too young. And I was turning 40. And anyway, we had the big ice storm come in that year. Remember the ice storm of 2007? Well, we had that big ice storm. And one day I kind of got bored, and I thought, well, and then because her uncle came by the night before and said, well, she's over 18, and she's actually in her early 20s. And I'm going, oh, okay. So I thought, well, I don't know. I got bored during the ice storm, so I thought I'll give her a call, but I threw her phone number away. It was on a little itty bitty piece of paper. I'm not kidding. It was on a real tiny piece of paper, and I'd already threw it in the trash can. And luckily that trash can was still in my living room. So, oh no, I mean the kitchen. So I took the trash can, I dumped the whole thing on the floor. And I went and I just desperately searched for that tiny piece of paper that her phone number was on. And I found it. I called her, and then we hooked up. I had to go to her place that night, at her mom's place. There was like a bunch of people there, and we really didn't get a chance to know each other then. We didn't really have a chance to go out on our first date yet. Then a couple of days later, her mom brings Nicole into the restaurant where I worked, because I was working 2 jobs. At my day job, I was working at George's, right? So here's Nicole. Her mom brings her into George's. They visit with me while I'm at work, and I did something really, really rash, but I gained her mother's respect. I gained Nicole's respect. We haven't gone on our first date yet. Do you know what I did? Haven't even gone on our first date yet. Nicole was standing right there at the cash register, right? She stood right there, and her mom was just a few feet away. And I guess I didn't care that her mom was sitting right there. I kissed her. I just took it. We haven't even got on our first date yet. And I laid it on nice and thick. I didn't care what anybody thought, that her mother was like a few feet away, or what my friends thought. Did it right there in front of everybody. And I just took it. I kissed her, and then we went out on a date, and yeah, she was a nice girl, really nice, and her living situation not good. We continued to date. Nicole and I think she was more in love with me than I was with her at the time, at the beginning, but that would change. So Nicole and I dated, yeah, and then at the beginning, I really didn't want another woman living with me, but I was kind of taken in by her, and I felt that I had to get Nicole out of that situation she was in, because her living situation was really, really bad, really bad. The place she was living in, full of roaches, and her mom and her uncle were stealing her money. She had muscular dystrophy, and she got an SSI check, right? Her mother would take the check, and Nicole wouldn't see any of it. And I figured they were stealing her money. She's living in these wretched, horrible living conditions. And I thought, no, I gotta take her out of here. So I asked her to move in and live with me. And then the second thing we did was to take Nicole's Social Security check away from her mom. The way to do that was to make Nicole her own legal guardian and give her independence. I was not her payee or her legal guardian. She was. At the time, it seemed like the right thing to do. So we went to see our Kit Bond, and with his help, we got her own guardianship. The next day, Social Security gives us a call. We go down there, and now Nicole has got her own guardianship. She's her own payee, and we cut her mother off financially. That's why her mother and I didn't exactly speak to each other, because I cut off her bread and butter. And then I wanted Nicole to marry me because it didn't feel right living together, not being married. So, but the situation, I felt justified it. So we went down to get a marriage certificate. I asked her father for permission to marry her. That was important, because if you don't have daddy's permission, it's theft. You're taking something that doesn't belong to you. So where I come from, you have to have it. It's necessary. So I asked Nicole to marry me. And then in July of 2007, we got married at a music festival. And we were married ever since, until God took her home. I could tell you this. I took care of Nicole. And what I'm about to say is going to be politically incorrect, because I am sick and tired of these boys that don't take care of their girls. Well, I'm on Facebook. I see girls saying, we're living out of a hotel, but my boyfriend doesn't have a job. Well, he needs to get off his butt and go get a job, because it's his responsibility to take care of you. When I married Nicole, it was my responsibility to take care of her. And that is what I did. I became a man. I took care of her. The only government benefit she got was her Medicaid, and we had to fight to get that, because when we got married, they took everything away. Oh, you make too much money. You have assets and property. You don't qualify for any financial assistance. But I had to get Medicaid because her medical bills would bankrupt even me. So through Kit Bond help again, we got her Medicaid. Hands down, it was a done deal. If you want help with a government agency, go see your elected official. Have all your paperwork there, and they'll help you out. Because I got help, and it solved all my problems. But I tell you what, I took care of Nicole. I was good to Nicole. And I can't understand why some of these guys out there don't take care of their girls. Because when Nicole wanted something, she usually got it. Nicole appreciated the beautiful dresses I would buy her. I tell you what, guys, when you date a girl, it's going to cost you money. I have a sister, she's going to be 25 this year. And if a guy wants to go out with my sister, well, first thing he's going to have to be is, well, clean and sober. Am I asking too much? No. Let me tell you something, guys. You've got to take care of your girls. I'm sick and tired of these pathetic losers. I don't understand it. I married Nicole. I took care of her. I put a roof over her head, clothes on her back, and food in her belly. That was my job. That was my responsibility. When I married her, I promised her dad and her adoptive mom and dad, Kurt and Brenda Ballard, that I would take care of her. And that's what I did. You make a promise, you keep a promise. And I'm not backing off from that. You don't like what I have to say, then fine. But I took care of Nicole. Nicole, one time she wanted a brand new Easter dress. We spent $200 at Dillard's. I was happy to do it. You know? Guys, I just don't understand it. Take care of your girls. I don't understand it. When you date a girl, she's going to cost you money. Let me put it this way. Guys, if you're going on a date and you can't even afford to buy your girl a t-shirt from Bass Pro, you've got a problem. You are sad and you are pathetic. And I just can't tolerate guys like that. Nicole and I, you know, we had great times. We had fun. Our marriage hit a second honeymoon phase when I went from night shift to day shift. When I switched to the day shift at George's, we had a second honeymoon phase because finally I had all my evenings free and we were free to go out and do things and build up our social lives and make friends and our marriage got better. And the last 3 or 4 years were the best years our marriage ever had because we just started living. We didn't care. We lived. We went to Silver Dollar City. We went all kinds of places, did all kinds of neat things. And she had fun. And I enjoyed taking care of Nicole. That's what a guy's supposed to do, take care of his woman. You know, Nicole liked beautiful dresses. You know, you can buy inexpensive dresses. I mean, there's TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross, you know, thrift stores. I mean, she didn't care that she got a dress from a thrift store. She loved it. She was excited to get a beautiful dress. And I was happy to do it for her. And we got guys today that can't provide for their women. They're sad and they're pathetic. You can't afford a t-shirt from Bass Pro. You can't afford the girl. If you're dating someone, like my sister, she's turning 25 later on this year, right? If you're going out on a date with my sister and you can't afford to buy her a t-shirt from Bass Pro, you're not getting another date. You're not going out with her again because you can't afford her. You can't afford a t-shirt from Bass Pro, you've got a problem. You are sad and pathetic. And I'll call you, you know, you want to date with my sister, you better be clean and sober. Requirement number 2, please have a job. Am I asking too much? But here's the catch, guys. You may say, well, Jeremiah, I only work at Burger King. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you can date my sister. Sure. Can you afford her? What if you wanted to go out on a date with this girl? Girls are going to cost you money, guys. They're going to cost you money. Let's say this girl, you want to take her to the movies. Maybe she wants to go see Star Wars. It's going to cost you money. Because tickets are $10 a piece at any movie theater. So you're going to drop $20 just for the movie. Oh, you can't take her to McDonald's? No. So, yeah, I can accept a guy just works at Burger King, right? But I already know he probably can't afford it. I already know this. You're gonna drop $100 on your first date. I guarantee it. You're gonna spend $100 by the time you take her to the movies, take her to dinner, buy her a souvenir gift. You're gonna be dropping $100 easy. Can you afford it? If you can't, don't even try to ask a girl out on a date. If you can't afford making the first impression to spend at least $100, don't try it. If you can't afford to buy her even a t-shirt at Bass Pro, you can't afford her. Don't try it. Because if you can't afford a t-shirt at Bass Pro, how are you going to afford things later when you get married? Think about that. I see this all the time. And I don't understand why some of these girls go for these losers who can't provide. You got to provide for your woman. I provided for Nicole. I took care of Nicole for 12 years. So don't give me this line of crap because I was a husband. I did it. Been there, done that. I'm telling you, if you decide you want a girl on a date with a girl. Let's go back and say this girl wants to go to the movies. She wants to go see Star Wars. Well, number one, the tickets are $10 a piece. Number two, you can't take your girl to McDonald's for your first date. You got to take her to at least Cheddar's. You're going to drop $30 at Cheddar's, $20 in movie tickets, so up to $50. But you can't go to see Star Wars without wearing Star Wars merchandise. You got to wear Star Wars t-shirts and hats, whatever else, right? T-shirts are, let's say you go to Kohl's, you can get t-shirts for $20. But you got to have a matching shirt too. So you're going to buy her one, you're going to buy you one. Oh, heaven forbid she wants a Star Wars cap. Oh, she wants to go the whole 9 yards. So you got to buy a hat too. So you're going to buy this girl a t-shirt, you're going to buy her a hat. You're going to buy yourself a t-shirt, possibly a hat. So you're going to spend, at Kohl's, hats could run you $20, $30. Let's say $20 on a conservative note. $20, t-shirt for her, t-shirt for you, hat for her. That's $60 at Kohl's. Plus dinner, that's $30, that's $90. You bought movie tickets, now you're up to $110. Oh wait, she'll want popcorn. That big bucket of popcorn, what does it run? That probably runs at least $10, don't it? Soda and popcorn, the little combo deal. You're looking at what, $10, $15? I haven't been to a movie, I don't know, I'm just guessing. You know it's high dollar. So, yeah, combo deal. Oh, you want popcorn too? No, she'll make you get your own bucket of popcorn. She's not going to share it with you, buddy. So, you want popcorn, that's another bucket for you, one bucket for her. Yeah, you're going to spend over $100, easy. Taking that for girl on your first date. She may want to see Star Wars. She's got nothing to lose. You've got everything to lose. She doesn't. She's getting free dinner, free t-shirt, free hat, free night at the movies at your expense, by the way. So yeah, I mean, it's, any parent, you say you want to date their daughter, they can sit back and go, I know how much you make. Good luck. Oh, and by the way, if you decide, because my sister's 25, she will be this year, that you want to do something stupid and you get my sister pregnant, well, you're going to pay dearly for that too. Because that little duty geyser, I'll be putting that little duty geyser at the end of your bed. You say, I love her. Good. Prove it. You're going to be changing diapers at 2 o'clock in the morning. So if you decide to, you're going to go on a date and you're going to do something stupid, you're going to pay. Child support's not good enough. No. You're going to be changing diapers at 2 in the morning. You think I'm going to do it? No, you're going to do it. And you're going to pay. Boy, are you going to pay. If you try to leave and walk out on this baby, you're going to pay again. I will chase you down to the end of the earth. And you're going to pay. I don't care if you get a job somewhere, we're going to garnish your wages. So, yeah, a date with my sister, number one, you got to be clean and sober. Number two, you're going to have a job. I don't care if it's McDonald's and Burger King. You better have a job. Number three, you're going to have a car. What are you going to do? Take her on your bicycle? Bicycle built for two? Number four, you can't be a felon. No jail, no prison. 5, I don't want to see tattoo eardrops. Yeah, I don't want to see that. I don't mind if you have tattoos, but the teardrops, yeah, you're gone. You're out of there. So, yeah, dating my sister might be a little difficult because I'm going to require you to have a job, a car, be clean and sober. Yeah, she's trying to clean herself up, and so guys that in the future want to date my sister, yeah, clean and sober, number one. Job, car, no jail, no prison. No, that's not going to work either. So I'm not asking too much, am I? I don't care that you have a job at McDonald's, but can you afford my sister? Like I said, take a girl out on a date. That can be expensive. If you can't afford to get your girlfriend at least a t-shirt at Bass Pro, you got a problem. You got a real problem. Because I already know all this. And I was married for 12 years. And I took care of my wife. She was always wanting something. We'd be like shopping at the mall, right? So, yeah. Her favorite store was Charlie's. She loved that store. She loved it a lot. She'd always walk in there and buy something, and my hard-earned money, I pay for it. She wants new wrestling. We got whole kinds of wrestling videos I got for her. John Cena stuff, books and stuff. What kind of stuff did I get for her? All kinds of stuff. What did I do with that, John? There it is. Oh. Ah. This. See this? Nicole was a big fan of John Cena. She wanted everything John Cena. And this book is beautifully, and I enjoyed getting stuff for her. See, this is what a man is supposed to do. Man, why don't you do that for your girls? Why do you make them go on Facebook and beg for money? You're supposed to feed them, put food in their belly. Why don't you do that? I did that for Nicole, and I did all kinds of neat things like this. Nicole loved this, and I was happy to do it. And that's what you're supposed to do when you're a man. You man up, take responsibility. I did that for 12 years. 12 years I took care of her. 12 years I provided a roof over her head. Put clothes on her back, put food in her belly. You know, we never ever had to go to a food bank or get food stamps or depend on the government. Except for her Medicaid, we didn't have to depend on the government for anything. That was my job. The only reason we had to have Medicaid because her medical bills would bankrupt even me. It was like thousands of dollars a month. She had muscular dystrophy, so there's no way that I could possibly afford it. So we had to have help on that end. But everything else, that's my responsibility. That's what I was supposed to do. And I'm sick and tired of these pussies that don't treat their girls right. If I was to be dating again, I would treat her right. I would do what I was supposed to do. Man up. Be responsible. Take the girl out. Take her to the movies. Take her to go see Star Wars. You bet. I'm just throwing that out there. She may want to see some romantic comedy. I don't know. I just use Star Wars as an example because that movie or any of those superhero movies would require you to buy her a t-shirt because you can't walk in those movies without proper attire. If you take her to see Avengers or Spider-Man, you have to have a Spider-Man shirt, you have to have an Avengers shirt, Iron Man, whatever it is. You better be dressed. She'll want a souvenir. And she'll want that bucket of popcorn. She'll want that soda pop. And you will take her to eat at least Cheddar's, right? Or Applebee's. Yeah, you can't take her to McDonald's. Oh, no. No, that won't do. Absolutely not. Yeah, I took care of Nicole. That's what you're supposed to do. I just don't understand it. It saddens me that guys just don't know how to be men. They just don't. I worked, and that's what you do. You work. You work, you take care of your girl. You treat them right. You know, but we got a whole generation today. It's like finding a guy that's clean and sober. Good luck with that. I just X'd out half the men. Finding a guy who actually has a job, a car, his own place. Oh, that's another thing. You can't be living at home with your mommy. Oh my God, do I have a story to tell about that one. I actually know a couple of guys in their 40s still living with their mommies. Oh my God, you can't get more pathetic than that. Oh my gosh. That is sad. And these same guys wonder why the girls don't talk to them. That's because you're living at home with your mommy. You're driving your mommy's car. No job, no car, living with your mommy. Wow. That's gonna really impress some girl. Oh my God. And these guys are in their 40s. Probably maybe 50. They're close to my age. It's like, wow. Can't believe that. Unbelievable. Yeah. That's another requirement. You want to date with my sister, you can't be living with your mommy. You're going to have a car and a job. You're going to have to be clean and sober. And try to be a Christian. That is our religious faith. I just X'd out 99% of the male population. I realize that, yeah. And if you do have a job, I already know how much you make. So good luck taking her out on a date. Because it's going to cost you money, pal. It's going to cost you money. I already know this. So good luck with that. Toodaloo. Yeah, so have a good time. And, yeah. It always amazes me. Because for 12 years, Nicole, she enjoyed our trip to Silver Dollar City. Or Steal Your Dollar City. They steal your dollars, you know. We never were able to go back to Steal Your Dollar City. So if I was to get in another relationship, I want to pick up where Nicole and I left off. Yeah. I would. But I'm glad I got to tell my story. I mean, the story of me and Nicole was kind of short and sweet. But the story of that is, I just want to share that I took care of her. And I took responsibility for 12 years. I was a good husband. And if I start dating, if I date, at least I'm going to be put to the beta test by mom and dad. Because I went through 12 years of marriage. You can't test me. I've already been tested. Nicole would like, if I'm coming home from work or the gym, she says, "Did you pick up my 2 bottles of Sprite?" There's always at least 2 bottles of Sprite. Sprite was her favorite drink. She loves Sprite. "Did you get my Sprite? Did you pick up my 2 bottles of Sprite?" And even if I did, she'd go, "But you didn't take me with you. I wanted to be taken with you." So it's like, I can't win. I come home, "Where's my Sprite?" "Well, I was going to take you with me." Because if I bring the Sprite home, she says, "You didn't take me with you. I wanted to go with you." So I try to make sure that I at least take her with me. I'll come all the way home, pick her up, and we'll drive all the way back. Even though I could have picked it up on the way home. It's like, it's necessary to take her with me. Because she wants her 2 bottles of Sprite. And if we're going somewhere, you know, Nicole's love for me was very special because all she wanted was me. It didn't matter what I was doing, where we were going. We could be going to a banking convention and she wouldn't care. She'd want to be there because I was there. Nothing mattered to her except me. Because Nicole was special. You know, a lot of women just marry guys for their looks or their money. Nicole didn't want that. All Nicole wanted was me. It didn't matter what we were doing, where we were going. She'd want to go because I was there. All that mattered to her was me. You know, we could go to some social function. She'd want to go. And she'd get a special dress for the occasion. And like I said, the only thing that mattered to her was me. It didn't matter what we were doing. I was there. Anything to get out of the house and be with me. All she wanted to do was be with me. I was the center of her life, the center of her attention, and that's what she wanted. It didn't matter what we were doing. Even though she would complain, we never do anything I want to do, but we do what she wants to do sometimes. But it didn't matter to her because I was there. It could be a boring banking convention, but if I was there, she would enjoy herself because I was there. She just wanted to be a part of my life. All she wanted to do was just be there, regardless of what I was doing. I could be doing the most trivial little thing and she'd want to come. Just to be there with me. That's the way she was. And I don't know if I'll ever find anybody like that again. Um, a woman who just appreciated my presence. Uh, yeah, she liked the things I bought her, the dresses. I'm glad she wasn't into shoes. I would be bankrupt. She's got every designer handbag out there. You name it, she's got it. Every brand, she had it. I bet in our storage unit there's at least 100 purses and handbags. I can't even begin to tell you what the retail value of it is, but you name it, she's got it. I don't care if it's Coach, Michael Kors, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, she had it all. There was even a brand name that had her name on it called Nicole, and they sold them at JCPenney's. So like I said, I took care of my wife, and that's what you're supposed to do. That's what I did. And God made sure that I had the resources to do it because we were married under holy matrimony and He blessed us for it. Had we chosen the easy path of just shacking up and living together, things would have been a whole different. I really believe that. I really believe because we did the right thing at the risk of losing everything, God blessed us and made everything great for us. I really believe that. I believe that with all my heart because we did the right thing in the eyes of God. We got married, so we weren't living together. We tried to live good Christian lives. We didn't smoke, drink, gamble, shoot drugs. That's why we had money. We had money because we weren't smoking and drinking, doing drugs, and that put money in our pockets. Then we came across Dave Ramsey, and he helped us out more. We started following the baby steps and paying off all our debts and just being more financially sound, financially responsible. And that's the reason I could afford to do things, because we didn't have drugs and alcohol. We didn't do those things. And at first we weren't church goers, and then we met this guy named Levi. He came in and we started going to Cherry Street and been going ever since. I pretty much said what I wanted to say, I think. I told him my story, how I met Nicole, how I fell from grace, how I came back to God. I don't know if I told the story as detailed as I wanted to. But I had to share my story. Like, the first time that I kissed Nicole, we hadn't even gotten on our first date yet. I remember that. Our first kiss. We haven't gotten on a date yet. And what did I do? I kissed her right there in front of her mom. I didn't care what her mom thought. Let me tell you something, guys. You want to get somewhere with a girl, sometimes you just got to do the unthinkable and have the guts and the balls to do it. Because then you might gain their respect. I did with Nicole. 12 years, I had her respect. That's just the way it is. I don't know what else to tell you. I had 12 years of happy times with Nicole, and I just can't stand it when guys don't man up and become men and take care of their women. I took care of her, and that's what I do. If I was dating again, I'd do the same thing. I'd take care of the next girl. That's what you do. You take care of them. All I know how to do is be a husband. Playboy, that's not me. I'd suck at dating. I probably would. But being a husband, that I know how to do. I got 12 years experience at that. So I'm glad I got to share my story about where God has taken me, the path that I went on, all the dumb things I used to do, and the miracles that God provided for me. I shared a little bit of my love life. But yeah, what time is it? Well, It's hardly been an hour yet. I can't believe I told the whole story in 1 hour's time. Because now I'm sitting here rambling and I'm just speaking whatever's on my mind. I tend to do that. Because it's more sincere when I do it that way. It's unscripted. So tonight you got a whole hour. I shared my story, unscripted. I tried to rehearse it as much as I could, trying to think what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it. Because I practiced in front of a mirror even. I tried to say these things and anyway, yeah. And I'm glad I got to share my story. I hope that I do fall in love again. I'm not looking at this moment. Designing my website, so I'm staying completely focused. And anyway, like I said, guys, just take care of your girls. Like I took care of Nicole for 12 years. Don't be stupid. Spend a little money on them. Don't tell me this crap, I can't afford it. Cut back on something else. If you can't afford, like I said, you can't afford to get your girl a t-shirt from Bass Pro, you are sad. That is so sad. I just can't understand that. I don't get it. Well, I'm glad I got to chat, and I'll see y'all later. Thank you.